तेरे तो बाप का business, तेरा life तो बहुत easy है. Did you ever heard something like this from your friends?
Yeah. In school, it used to happen.
Achha.
And
Is it that easy?
No, it is not easy. When I joined my business, more than 5,000 families are dependent on my business today.
So a lot of startups, entrepreneurs, businesses, they often confuse between two vital terms, which is marketing and sales.
Yeah. So the marketing part is how you want the people to think about your product. And sales is how much numbers you're making. It's a number-oriented game.
With influencers such as Food Farmer coming into the picture, do you think is it like a boon or a bane to you?
It's a boon, actually, because there are many brands who are really doing an honest job and maintaining their quality. And I think that this kind of awareness program is awareness is actually helpful for the end consumer, and end consumer needs to be educated.
What is your take on the work-life balance?
If you need to make a successful brand as a founder, then you need to work 24 hours.
Big companies need to pay local parties or politicians to run their business smoothly. Hi Hirak, welcome to the show. And how are you doing today?
Hello, Joy. I'm doing fine.
So we'll talk about animal kingdom first, because again it is something very close to my heart as well. In a world of about 6 billion people, in a country of about 1.4 billion people, the stray dogs, they often get neglected by our society, stray dogs or cats. We'll not talk about wild animals here. We'll mainly talk about stray dogs and cats. And they are not understood. They're abused. They're tortured. And the ratio is 100:1, as in when 100 humans torture, maybe one dog will bite in return. And the media often portrays a different side. The media would not portray the 100 torture which is done to the animals, but maybe one of biting case which the animal does to the human. What is your take on this? A, why are they misunderstood? Why is there lack of compassion? And B, why has the majority of the media, I would not say all, but villainized the stray dogs and cats?
I will start with your second question.
Sure.
Why media doesn't portray tries to portray only the biting cases? What happens is media is a medium for for the people, for the humans, and for that reason, for their support and for their viewership, these kind of things happen. But ultimately, we cannot forget that we are in a land where different organisms thrive together, and we are in the region of the stray dogs. They are not in our region. On a lot of times, we have seen many people say that we cannot allow stray dogs in our society, or the stray dogs should be on the other side of the society gates.
Correct.
But the problem is they don't understand the society was developed in their region,
That's right.
and they know their territory much well than what we do. We own that territory on the basis of a piece of paper, and they own it on the basis of their natural instinct. So there's a difference of that. So but yes, the humankind has got a much nurtured brain, and we have developed so many things around us. Unfortunately, that same kind of acumen our stray dogs don't have.
Right.
And the breed dogs, who are often petted at home, normally they are considered as humans. So whenever the breed dogs are there, the stray dogs, they are also taught that they are strays and you are a part of the family. This kind of natural continuous injection of uh, borderlines actually is creating this kind of divide.
Right.
And ultimately, for the centuries of human understanding, this kind of perception has developed.
Right.
But we are here to change that. And since you have started with the question about animal kingdom, uh, being an animal lover and a quite empathized pet lover, I wanted to break that boundary between human and animals, where all of us can coexist together. That is just a small approach what I have taken. In fact, so for that reason, I think a lot of people should come on board
Right.
to develop this kind of.
So as you mentioned that humans have a humans have an evolved sense of understanding. Don't you think that's more reason why we should be kind? Because
Yes,
we can speak, we can express ourselves. They can in their own way, but not
of course.
everybody can understand that.
True.
But we being the evolved and more sane beings. So don't you think it is on us to actually protect them and keep them with care?
Of course, we are. It is our responsibility to take care of them. But at the same time, when we have an evolved way of understanding, that sometimes that evolved way goes haywire. And that human upbringing
Right.
and that evolved way of understanding goes in a different path. So for that reason, the similar affinity towards animals is not found in the human.
Right. Also, why is there this over obsession of breed dogs? Why can't people just get a stray home? Because I think Indian dogs are way more strong than the
Yes.
breed dogs.
Yes.
B, they are less maintenance. C,
True.
they are way smart than
Way
the
smart.
breed dogs. So why is this obsession? In fact, I remember one clip few years ago. Even our Prime Minister Modi had said, कि desi dogs को adopt करें.
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
Even there was a clip recently which circulated in Taj Mahal Palace, Bombay, where there was a stray dog sleeping inside the compound, and Ratan Tata had clearly mentioned that he is here first and we are on his territory, as
We
you
are on
said.
his territory. Yeah.
So, when will this sense of understanding come in all the other humans? I know there's a lot of people now adopting strays, even a lot of Bollywood celebrities adopting strays, like John Abraham, Farhan Akhtar, and all of that. बट ये बाकी लोगों में कब आएगा कि ब्रीड नहीं करके स्टेज को घर में लेके आते हैं.
See, there was a massive American way of marketing of these breed dogs.
Right.
Right. When you see in when the evolution happened, being a colonized country like us, where we have celebrated things which are coming from outside,
Right.
rather than
Right.
homegrown brands,
Correct.
homegrown things. There was an era in there, the looks, the way they have portrayed their breeds,
Basically
marketing part that comes in the global marketing part,
Right.
the American way of marketing. So that has actually developed this kind of perception that stray dogs, we shouldn't keep at home. They're from the streets. We should keep these breed dogs because it's a sense of pride, because the person is buying it. It's a sense of ownership. You buy a grand piano at at your house.
Exactly.
And you invite your friends and show them. Same thing like that. But the problem is the breed dogs are today facing the same issues.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
the strays. And
Exactly.
the gene pool of the breed dogs, because of this inbreeding
Exactly.
inbreeding and all these kind of mixed breeding, the entire gene pool is wasted today, because the American way of marketing came inside India and captured the petting of dogs as a commodity,
Right.
and
Exactly.
neglected the entire homegrown Indian breeds.
Right.
There are a lot of Indian breeds today.
Lot.
Okay,
Exactly.
which are of course in south of India they are much they are in a lot of breeds which are from which are not strays, but they're Indian breeds.
Right.
But right now the lot of marketing, lot of awareness program should be there for these kind of Indian breeds, which is lacking till
Right.
today.
Right. Even when you mentioned, the breeds, like a Labrador in the United Kingdom or USA lives around 12 to 14 years.
Yes.
In India, it lives about 4 to 5 years.
4 to 5 years.
Because of inbreeding.
Yes.
The brother and sister are mated together.
Brother and sister.
And the way they are kept, Oh my
Yes.
God, the girl dog is literally raped forcefully by the male dog, and that's
True.
what these illegal breeders do. So I think these things are not known by the general public, and that's
No.
why they keep going and
What they are seeing today is, they're going to a pet shop and
huh.
they're seeing some nice
Just
fancy dogs with fancy collars and all, waiting
exactly.
for them to go,
Exactly.
to
But
take
it's a
them home.
product of rape
But it's a
actually.
product of rape. It's a product of hindrance of basic elements of life for the dogs today. So for that reason, this thing happens.
Moving on to your other side of life, the
Yeah.
work side of life,
Yeah.
which actually helps you fulfill your passion,
Yeah. True. True. True.
So have you ever heard, something, because you when you went to school or when you went to college, uh, did you ever heard something like this from your friends? अरे तेरे तो बाप का business, तेरा life तो बहुत easy है.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
In school, it used to happen,
अच्छा,
and
is it that easy?
no, it is not easy.
Break that
There are
myth for us.
see, the thing is, when you are a startup entrepreneur, or you are starting a brand, right? So you have nothing to lose there.
Correct.
That the So you can take that amount of risk, which has got a very limited liability on people. Suppose you are coming and joining a business which has grown and developed with your family. What happens is, there's a lot of liability. A lot of families are dependent on that. So when I joined my business, uh, more than 5,000 families are dependent on my business today. So the thing is, I have to balance between innovation, risk factor, which will risk taking, which will help me grow, or quantum growth, which will bring quantum growth to my organization. At the same time, balance the employee propositions, so that they don't lose their job is secured, and because of my innovations and my understanding, that there should be a little bit of balance between that. So that actually makes things difficult.
Right. Apart from that, like, if I have to ask you to highlight three key challenges to run a legacy business successfully,
Hmm.
what would that
Balancing between technological influx, innovation in the brand, in the products, and at the same time growing that existing products, as well as bringing in more products in the portfolio,
be? Right.
which will bring in more revenues.
Right.
Okay, this is one factor which we have to take care of. uh, Wrong implementation of strategies which may hamper the ongoing business,
Right. Right.
because the ongoing business is actually bringing in revenue, but when we are doing something which is actually mm, uh, pretty challenging for the existing setup to adopt, then things go haywire, things goes down. And another thing is the development of the trust of your employees. That is a very key problem many family business owners feel when the new generation comes in. At the same time, the previous generation sometimes don't hold that open mindedness,
Correct.
to accept the critical views of the people who are coming in and joining the business.
Right. And how important is marketing in your business? There's another question to this, which I'll ask you later after you ask me this question. But how important is the role of marketing, especially in a companies like yours, which is like a B2C or a D2C?
D2C, see, the thing is, marketing plays the vital and most integral part of the business. For example, putting my product today along with 100 other products which are manufactured every day and launched every day, and making a differentiator brand, being a legacy brand, and creating a differentiator at the same time, needs little bit of fooling in terms of marketing, product placement, and product recognitions in uncharted territories.
Right.
So the thing is, if not marketing, if the marketing is forgotten, thinking that this have got a customer base and customer base will always be loyal to us,
Right.
taking your customers for granted will actually diminish the growth of the brand.
Right.
We need to continuously do marketing as if it's a product of today, as if it has been the product from its time of inception.
Right.
It's the same product today, also it's the same thing, and it will be the same thing for the coming years. And we have to get more products in the same portfolio or value added products surrounding that portfolio,
Right.
which will add as a a balancer for the
Right.
brand in
Right.
uncharted, because everybody is not everywhere.
Right.
So we always, it's a
Obviously.
challenge.
Yeah.
Today also I am going and starting new markets in new places.
Hmm.
Not like I have we are established everywhere. There are certain parts where we have
Right.
to establish again. So marketing is always important. Marketing has always been a part of the journey.
Right.
Prima facie.
Right. So you mentioned, we were talking about how the old and the new generation sometimes have a difficulty in adjusting and working together, with especially when it comes to new ideas and implementations. Now, marketing has also changed significantly in the last decade and a half.
Mhm.
You know, earlier marketing was primarily, say, radio, television, hoarding.
Mhm.
Now it is completely shifted to online with
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram.
Programmatic campaigns.
Yes, influencer campaigns.
Influencer
So
campaigns.
many campaigns. So how again, how do you think it is very? How do you think digital marketing in general? And I'm putting everything in the one bracket. Okay,
Mhm.
how does digital marketing and campaign plays a significant role for your company growth? And B, how has the older generation taken to it?
Digital marketing for a legacy brands was challenging in the beginning. Why? Because we have to recreate the brand. For example, recreate the brand as a new age brand today. For example, our products have been used for the last 50 to 60 years. Some of the products, some are 20, some are 10. So this 50 to 60-year old product, everybody knows that, it is how it is used, what are the usages. But utility based marketing was lacking in the traditional part
Right.
of business.
Right.
So what digital marketing helped us is to educate people of the various usage of the product.
Right.
What the way I can tell about my brand, because how we enter the digital marketing platform is through awareness programs in how through influential marketing and programmatic campaigns, of course. So how you're using the brand on a day-to-day basis.
Right. Right.
Why do you need this brand when you
Right.
have so many brands
Right.
today? Why this? What is the purity factor of this brand? What is the health benefits of this brand? So these are the things we discuss on digital platforms, and that actually is converted into C2C and cost to sales perspectives, where we get our figures done.
Right. Right.
And we have started from 2018, I guess, totally. Like
Right.
from 2014,
Okay.
the digital movement came, and 2018 there was a bit of challenge because there were many platforms who were not taking liquids at that time.
Right.
Now they have started taking, because the market also, when you have a technology, the market needs to understand for every bit.
Right.
When you for all kinds of products, it should be available.
Right. So, how do you see Shalimar Chemical evolving in the next decade now, from 2024 to 2034, with you now coming in and with digital coming in and with now AI also coming in? How do you evolve yourself and the company growing purely in terms of the marketing scheme of things? Obviously, products, business, that will grow. There is business development in that side as well. But from the marketing standpoint, how do you see your company evolving?
To develop further in the decade ahead, we have got a long action plan, short action plan.
Right.
Before having a long action plan, there must be proper portfolio development of the founder,
Right.
members,
Right.
or the management.
Right.
What happens is there are many people in the management. For example, my brother is there. So what happens is we have to dedicate the portfolios in such a way that the innovation independence is given to that individual. For example, my brother handles the entire production part, so he takes care of the BOM, bill of material part. The lower the bill of material, the more profitable we can be. That is his.
Obviously, yeah.
That is
Yeah.
his forte. For me, is how to put the proper price for the proper product, how to compete in the market, how to bring more innovations. This so there's a complete handshaking between two individuals which are required. Why I'm telling you this is I can talk about a lot of technologies which are used today. You told about the involvement of AI today, and we have already started it in the accounting portion, in the HR related talent acquisition portions. We have already adopted AI tools today, so the tools are already readily available.
Right.
So now utilizing of these tools properly to an extent which will give a profitable growth and a commendable growth of the organization is required.
Right.
My technological influx, as I'm telling you, is not same as an Infosys or a TCS, because obviously there are tech companies,
Correct.
they have certain kind of inflow.
Correct.
My inflow will be totally different, and it should be balanced with the product I'm selling. So we cannot go on a rat race, and we cannot be in a peer pressure of brands today. Like this brand is doing this, so I also have to do this.
Right.
We have to
Right.
get out of it.
Right.
First, for a family business to grow in future and to develop into a corporate structure, because we have already developed into that position right now, and in future also we are going to grow it into a big conglomerate. So the thing is, the mindset is required. The mindset is the main thing. If we have the mindset for growth, then it will happen. Like we are having short action plan, like next 2 years, what will be the revenue growth, what will be the profit margins, what will be our investments in other regions, other businesses,
Right.
the timing of that, the product placement, how many products are we coming up with in the next 3 years. Another is in the next 10 years, how big my organization should be. That
Right.
should be a target, and back calculation must be done.
Right.
Till today,
Right.
what needs to be done? The back calculation is really important from the benchmark. Otherwise, we cannot grow on a year-to-year basis.
Right.
नहीं तो every year we'll come and talk about that same growth.
Correct.
You call me next year, I'll talk about the same growth. That shouldn't
Right.
happen.
Right.
Right.
Right. So a lot of startups, entrepreneurs, businesses, they often confuse between two vital terms, which is marketing and sales.
Yeah.
They often think it's same or interrelated. So why don't you bust that myth for us?
Marketing and sales is totally a 180-degree difference is there.
Correct. That's right. Yes.
So the marketing part is how you want the people to think about your product. What is the perception of the product?
Right.
And sales is how much numbers you're making. It's a number oriented game.
Correct.
For example, I'll take a small part of digital marketing where you do a campaign, a product campaign, which will not give you numbers. And there is a programmatic campaign where they will give you numbers like how much your cost to sales ratio, how much cost per click you are putting, and all these things. Various platforms are having this.
Right.
The way they have monetized the entire system. So these are totally two different aspects. Marketing is perception based. Sales is totally number based. If the marketing is excellent, it will convert into sales. That cannot happen. Marketing and sales are two opposite things which should go parallelly at the same time. The target positioning of marketing and target placement of the proper sales force, sales activities should be aligned, but both are totally different things.
Thank you so much for that. Because that there's often a huge myth that a marketing and a sales guy are the same. But
Yeah.
I think it's
No,
as you said.
We have got a separate department for marketing and we have got a separate department for sales. The sales don't know what is going to happen.
Right.
I'll tell you how it operates. For example, there's a marketing guy. So the salesperson comes and tells the marketing guy, we are lacking in figures in these areas. So plan out something for us.
Right.
Now the sales guy is busy making channel partners, making distributors,
Exactly.
all these things.
Exactly.
That is
Right.
not his job to think about, how the product will be placed.
Correct.
Then the marketing guy actually puts his input, whether, we will do B2B campaigns, we'll do BTL activities, ATL activities, TV पे जाएगा या फिर
सही
ये
बात।
ऑन ग्राउंड इन स्टोर मर्चेंडाइजिंग होगा, ये प्रोडक्ट के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है.
Correct.
टेट्रा पैक प्रोडक्ट, सपोज आई एम telling a product which costs around 300-400 rupees a unit, that should go for a in-store campaign.
Right.
A product which is 30-40 rupees, that should go for a BTL activity.
Right.
Where a mass volume growth we can get.
Right.
Now, it depends on the sales force
Right.
at the end of the day to properly place that product and utilize the amount of marketing which is done
Right.
in that area. How much is done?
Is there like a top tier secret that you wish someone gave to you while you started your career, which you know now of?
Someone gifted me.
Yeah, told you maybe. May gifted also. That's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
nice word. Maybe told you something कि ऐसा करने से ऐसा होता जो today you really know कि अरे वाह.
So this is quite a question. I can tell you that if I knew where to place which guy in which position
Okay.
at what time,
Right.
that would have been easier.
Right.
You know,
I think it would have helped you significantly in a lot of things.
significantly. You are when you're developing a product or developing a team, you're actually educating a team. But after 6 months, if the retention factor is not there, and that person is picked up by some other competition brand,
Correct.
then it doesn't happen in that way.
Right.
So
Right.
talent acquisition, I think somebody if give me a ready-made plate with a talent acquisition, these are the perfect people for this perfect job, then it would have been very easy for me.
Right. You being part of the FMCG industry, what are like a few of the things, or maybe top 3 things or top 5 things to be really careful of while you're working and developing your brand in this industry, or perhaps even planning to enter in this industry?
The first thing is very much required in FMCG since it's a small amount SKUs, like small number SKUs, right? Where the cost comes at around, it starts from 5 rupees and 10 rupees and goes up to 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees. So proper market research must be done.
Right.
And there should be proper investment on market research before coming inside the market.
Okay.
Proper SWOT analysis, whatever the PPTs people make, that should not come from your own team. That should come from third party credible sources who will actually guide us. We should always outsource the research part.
Right.
That makes the research expensive, but at the same time effective. Because if the person you have already hired or the person who's doing the job for you does the research, there will be certain blind sides of the research. For example, the product must be placed in these regions. This product, this SKU will work in these regions, but it may not work in the tier 1, tier 2 area.
Right.
But
Right.
in tier 3 cities, it will work. Or in tier 3 cities, this is the demograph, the ethnicity. There, the product will work. It won't work in other places. This proper guidance will come through. Obviously, there are many ORG is there, Nelson is there. A lot of companies who do this. This research is very much important. This is number one.
Okay.
Number two is the basic thing is to achieve an excellent BOM for the product which we are going to sell.
What is BOM?
It's a bill of material.
Okay, below.
The bill of material is the number of elements required to manufacture that product. He should have an excellent sourcing of that.
Right.
Where is the cheapest and the best quality I'll get? See, everybody will want quality, but that quality should comes at a price.
Obviously.
But that quality where I'm getting it the cheapest way, that BOM should be set. Because to develop a turnover of 50 crores, 200 crore investment is required in marketing. As on today, it was not required in previous years. In the last generation,
Right.
you do a press conference, your product will sell. Today, your press conference gets, diminished between the million companies who are doing the
Right.
marketing part.
Absolutely right. Correct.
So proper BOM is required, proper research on the BOM, and which is the most important thing, I think the quality. The quality will speak. Even if we are not doing any proper advertisement of how big, how pure my product is, the usage factor should come. The first test run should be done among a closed community. Then the community feedback must be taken. More development phase investments should be there
Right.
in the development phase,
Right.
rather than after going inside the market and getting less figures, and then we are thinking what to be done. Better to do it before launching the product.
Right.
And the proper timing, that is
Right.
also really important. Which product, what is the time, what is the season, when will it be the perfect season to launch this product. All product doesn't work with puja season. Okay.
Right.
The Durga Puja we are going to launch this product, it will work. Doesn't happen like
Right.
that.
Right.
Depends on the requirement of the product.
Right. So, do you think that with this advent of social media, the trust factor on the FMCG products of the usual public has gone down a little bit?
Because of certain brands who have faced certain kind of problems in the recent times, there is a trust issue which happens on the quality perspective.
Right.
That is on the end consumer.
Yeah.
But
Obviously.
not for the retail consumer. Retail
Okay.
part. The person
Okay.
who is a retailer or a
Right.
wholesaler.
Right.
They are only bothered about selling the product.
Correct.
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 Now, most of the companies, I'll tell you, 100 out of 120 companies, they get misguided by by their team only. When what happens is, when you're moving a product, suppose you're moving a product from your depot to your distributor, that means the product is sold. The moment you consider that product to be sold, when it goes to the distributor, that's the biggest mistake many industries are doing, companies are doing.
Okay.
All the secondary and tertiary level figures
Ah.
must be taken into consideration, which our brand does. We
Okay.
don't consider it sale until and unless it moves out of the distributor, and then we do a equal study of the retail offtakes
Right.
going
Right.
on.
Right.
Suppose you 200 pieces you have sent to the wholesaler. Out of the 200 pieces, he have sold 150 pieces to the retailers. Out of 150 pieces, 12 piece each retail units. But from there, the end consumer is only taking 3, and the shelf life is wasted for the other 9 products.
Right.
9 units.
Right. Right.
Then we are in big trouble. What happens is 1 or 2 cycles you will see growth, then the graph goes down.
Obviously. Correct. Correct. Correct.
So, coming back to your question, the FMCG perception of the end consumer will get affected from time to time with these kind of news. But the thing is, from the industry perspective, we should always take care of the quality of the brand.
Right.
The quality of the product is the optimum priority of any industry in FMCG.
Right.
Should be there and
Right.
should be appreciated by certain government entities.
Right.
Today.
So, suppose there's a product which is priced at 100 rupees. What is generally the breakdown in terms of, say, raw materials, manufacturing, operations, marketing, etc., etc.? How do you break it down, and then what is the profit margin?
See, on a standard basis, it's very difficult to say. But the thing is, suppose
You can give a ballpark.
Ballpark will be like minimum overhead charges. You can calculate around 20 to 25% in an FMCG brand,
Okay.
in an agro commodity brand.
Okay.
So because when you're going into fragrances, the margins are much higher. The product, a 50 rupee product, which for manufacturing it costs 50 rupees, they sell at 750 rupees. So, but of course, the overhead charges and all always should be taken into consideration. For example, 20% is the overhead charges, then your 10% is the handling charges, then your distributor margins comes around 5%, 6%, so 50% gone there. So then next 50% is there for you, where you have to adjust your bill of material and your profitability.
Acha, okay. And
So
where
that
does
is-
marketing come in here?
Marketing part comes in the handling charge.
Okay, that's the
10%.
okay. That's
And the
okay.
part, suppose in the marketing part, or you can put it in the in the overhead part.
Okay,
Okay.
right.
Most of the time, sometimes when it's a new product, no, and you have got a parallel running product, you take that marketing overhead on the running product, not on the new product.
Right.
So the thing is, so that you save some money over there,
Right.
and you can price the product properly.
Right.
For example, for me, starting a new hair oil, for example, will cost me around minimum around 50 to 60 cr marketing budget I need, but I don't have. Correct. So that 50 to 60 cr marketing budget, the costing which will come, that would be put on my existing products.
Right.
Sometimes it works. Today's in this volatile market, it is not working as well.
Right.
That is coming back, many industries are taking private equity, angel investors for the money to pump in for the new products till now. So
What
that
is
happens.
what is your company's belief? Are you all also planning to maybe give up some equity, take in some investments, or will it always be a company which is run by the family?
At present, in our short term plans, we don't have any kind of intention like that,
Okay.
because obviously all the products are self funded, and we are, because of our experience, actually we know where to put which product. We have to take care about the ceiling part, ceiling turnover also. For example, I'll talk to you about a certain hair oil. I'm not going to name it, but that industry, okay, let us talk about spices industry.
Okay.
Spices industry is a 95,000 crore industry
In India.
in India.
Right.
So the industry is huge, but 4%, not even 4%, I think 2 to 3% of that industry is only organized. Rest is all loose spices.
Right.
Within the 2 to 3%, all the major players are fighting.
Wow.
Yeah. See, today there are brands, spices brands, who have got a maximum turnover of around 1,000 crores. Some are having 800 crores, 900 crores, but the turnovers are limited there. But the industry is 95,000 crore. Nobody is having 30, 40, 50,000 crore only on spices. Maybe as a part of industry, it is having that turnover, but not in terms of spices. So the thing is, we have to see what kind of, so that means the industry is huge. There can be many players, so the margins will come down. The demand is there of an organized sector. Unorganized to organized transformation may take 2 to 3 years. Considering that, the margins will be as per the agro commodity market. Whereas, suppose I manufacture something which is a patented composition, right? The manufacturing process is patented. Then it adds value to your organization. Then it adds value to your organization. You can price your product in any way.
Right.
Until and unless there is certain lead time, some other competition comes in. Correct. Like the technology companies, like GPT today. Like there are many companies
Right.
who have started it, but then other companies, other tech companies have already followed that trend.
Right.
So it is like that.
Uh, as an FMCG brand or as a business which has been running for a lot of years now, with influencers such as food farmer coming into the picture, do you think is it like a boon or a bane to you?
It's a boon, actually, because there are many brands who are really doing an honest job and maintaining that quality. And I think that this kind of awareness is actually helpful for the end consumer. And end consumer needs to be educated with these kind of whatever they are thing. Look into the nutritional value, look into these things. So previously the consumers never used to take care of these kind of aspects. Now they are taking care of, and there are organizations who are really working hard to maintain that quality.
Right.
So they get a proper recognition and price for their
So,
product.
so when you maintain this quality, is it often equals to less profits?
Yes,
Always.
always.
So, and how does, so isn't there a conversation sometime within the board of directors, the team, uh, like that, क्या करें, प्रॉफिट को बढ़ाना है, थोड़ा इधर उधर कॉम्प्रोमाइज करें? Do you guys have that conversation ever?
Never. Because when we are when anybody who is coming inside the organization, who is any recruit, and even the person is a part of the board, he knows very well that our organization never compromise with quality. I won't give the product if the product is unavailable in the market. Maybe there will be shortages of my product, but we won't give any kind of spurious material to maintain that volume.
And how have you maintained these over these years, over so many years?
By reducing the overhead.
Acha.
How you are reducing the overhead? By placing the proper person at the proper point and doing proper talent acquisitions. Proper talent acquisitions, proper people is very much required for that.
Right.
Honest people, and there will be certain cases, but your HR is always there to handle that.
Right.
But the approach of talent acquisition should not come with a doubt,
Right.
in the mind.
Right.
So you should always come in a very optimistic way. Whoever is coming in sinks in with the brand and talks and thinks like the brand thinks, and then grow on top
Right.
of that. That actually helps because even the founder, the previous generations who were in the business, they've always maintained the quality.
Right. So I'm sure you have your ties up with distributors, retailers. How do you communicate with your end consumers? And do you actually communicate? And how do you find the feedback from the end user?
We have a lot of consumer feedback forums,
Okay.
where we place our products. There are certain BTL activities also
Okay.
where we place our
Okay.
products for honest feedbacks.
Right.
In fact, we always forward our products to certain food critics. Sometimes they revert, sometimes they don't, but it is not a thing that they need to revert back.
Right.
What our belief is, let us send our product for review.
Right. Right. Right.
I want an honest critical review of my product.
Right.
People should say that this should be improved, so I will improve. But the thing is, certain points sometimes, what happens is, many people say, we need to improve on the certain aspects of packaging and all. That also we implemented, and we have got results of that because we are very much, even in our social media handles, we are very much conversational with our consumers.
Right.
In fact, our lead time happened, like, if certain point, at some point, at any point, anybody complains, maybe he took the product which is a little bit old product or something. The retailer gave him an old product rather than a new one. Immediately it gets replaced within 4 to 5 hours. That is the lead time we have.
Wow.
We've got an active consumer service where we take the complaint, we locate the complaint, then the individual who is taking care of that part is connected, and that consumer is connected, and they get the benefit. This is what we always uh, follow.
Right. And as an organization, how do you ensure that the goal of the directors, the CEOs, CFOs, they're aligned with the goal of the regular working people who are there? How are you moving in the same direction as a team? And how do you keep them motivated?
Suppose there is certain new policies which we want to implement, be it strategic, be it employment beneficial, or be it cost effective policies. uh, we discuss with our mid tier range, we don't discuss with our top tier. The mid tier range is the range where people are freely, from the ground level staff, actually they communicate with the mid tier, right? So they honestly communicate with them.
Yes.
That office gupshup, what happens, we utilize it in our policy making. Then from there we come to know, and what we are also having these open office kind of discussions where you can openly criticize what the management is doing, and you openly tell what needs to be done, what needs to be corrected, because sometimes we are not always right. Though that saying is the management is always right, but we try to barge in that. So the thing is, from there we get a lot of feedback. This should be done, and somebody from the mid tier range or ground tier range, they come with an idea. It could have been like this. We grasp, then the policy is made, then it is discussed and passed to the board. If it is okay. And sometimes there are certain cost effective policies which we take certain decisions, and then we sit with them at the same way, we discuss with them and give them the benefits and any doubts if they have regarding that, how it is going to affect them.
Right. What is your take on the work life balance? Because there's this huge debate that's going on recently. A lot of good big founders have said कि ये सब नहीं अगर बिजनेस बनाना है, धंधा बनाना है, तो ये सब नहीं होता है. There's no work life balance. You have to work 18 hours a day, 20 hours a day.
That's true.
What is your personal opinion on that?
For the founder, yes, it's true. If you need to make a successful brand as a founder, then you need to work 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day. When do you
24
sleep
hours.
then?
You don't need to sleep. You shouldn't sleep until unless you get your job done.
Okay.
Okay, that is for the entrepreneur founder's perspective.
Right.
But when this founder is hiring people and these people are working in this organization, you cannot expect the same from them.
Correct.
You need to give them certain benefits, and to escalate that, you need to incentivize it. What policy me personally I follow is I incentivize the process rather than the result. I
Okay.
never incentivize any result. Previously we used to do it, target incentives. These days we call it process incentives.
Acha.
You do the job in this way, you will get the result. To do the job in this way, to adopt certain tools, certain marketing tools, instrumentation, you know then you will get an incentive. You don't get an incentive to fulfill the target. The moment you do the job in the process, the process actually desired by the organization, you'll get the result. That is why the organization is putting the process at first place.
Right. What
So
What is an ideal day in your life look like? A working day. When do you get up and when do you go to sleep? You say you don't sleep, but still I'm asking you
no,
this
no,
question.
I sleep because
Okay.
I'm not. I'm telling you from the founder's perspective.
Okay. Okay.
Normally, when I joined the organization, of course, I used to sleep for 4 hours
Okay.
because I used to think, what to do, how to improve the situation. There were certain situations where which required improvements,
Right.
and at that time, limitation of resources in your hand, because when you are coming joining a business, you don't get access to a lot of resources.
Understandably.
The resources are still under, in a very judgmental team of your previous generation is there. So for that, you have to cut down that butter. You
Right.
have to melt that butter. So the thing is, for me, my day starts very early at around 6 o'clock. Not because I wake up, because my doggy wakes me up
Okay.
by licking my face.
Okay.
Okay, so I get up at 6. Then I brew my own coffee. So I make my own coffee. I'm a little bit passionate about that.
Okay.
Then I take my daughter to school. She's a kid now. What I know that in future I'm not able to do that because she will be gone for long hours. It's to school. Now she's in Montessori, so for 1 or 2 hours I can make up. And then I come back, get ready, come to office, go back, go to a club, socialize,
Okay.
hang out with my friends, come back, do a little bit of sim racing. I'm into racing a lot.
Oh
So
wow.
I do a little bit of racing, and then sometimes I go to sleep at 1, sometimes I go to sleep at 2, but my wake time is the same. I should improve that. My family always keeps on telling me that you should at least sleep for more than 6 hours at a stretch, but I try.
And how do you value this family time and how important do you think it is in order to help you with your work time, like work time, and not only just time, but the focus, the motivation, and all of that? Do you think it has a direct role to play?
Yes, it has got a direct role to play because the peace in your family gives you the peace in your mind while you're working. The moment that peace is there, you don't think about the family when you're working. The moment you don't you are having some problems, you keep on thinking about that will affect your work. So this is the bottom line.
Right.
To get peace, you need to be very much involved in the family. And even we encourage our employee base also to be very much involved in the family.
Right.
When you're taking a holiday, take. And even if from anybody from the management or the higher officials are contacting them on a holiday, then we just ask them, whether they're free to talk or not. If it's not, then it's fine.
Right.
But this kind of healthy connection with your employees also is very much required. Otherwise, that employee also doesn't feel when the boss calls, "Arey, ye फिर से call कर दिया holiday के दिन." This kind of attitude shouldn't be there.
Right. Do you think marriage is a hindrance to business growth?
No,
Okay.
you should capitalize on your marriage for business growth. See, marriage concept in our tradition came from the. It started as a business handshaking, right?
Yeah.
If you consider that, because
Especially the arranged marriage
the
part.
arranged marriage
Absolutely
part.
right.
So
Yes.
this have been the part of Indian tradition. This is a part of Sanatan, actually. Vaishya and Baniya concept. To be a Baniya and a Vaishya together, you need a healthy married life for that. And you should utilize your partner's influence and inputs in your business. And maybe she's not related to the business, but talking certain problems will give you certain kinds of solutions. And especially how what she's also doing, maybe she's working somewhere. I know this kind of communication actually helps you, because she's also having some problems in her office,
Right.
or in her business if
Right.
she's an entrepreneur herself. So this joint coalition of problem solving actually will help you.
Right.
And that if we implement that in our business also, it will help. So if we are open with our partners, with our family at large, then it will be very good.
Do you think it is okay? But again, your personal preference. Do you think it is better to have one source of income in the family or two sources of income in the family?
Multiple sources of income. You should have two sources of income which are active,
Right.
and 10,000 sources which are passive.
Right.
You know.
Uh,
So
And for both partners?
for both partners.
Right. So that's a lot of
Of course,
saving
it
money.
will be. See, money at when we are growing, the basic necessity of money ends with certain factors, right? After that, it is just a satisfaction.
Correct.
Money, the number is not important. A feeling of accomplishment,
Yeah.
what comes, following the money comes on its way. But the moment you're trying to build a brand, you should be 100% motivated, passionate about building that brand. When there can be a lot of struggles, a lot of things, but the thing is, we have to nullify those things.
Right.
And keep on building the brand, building the products like that. So that actually helps. The money will come in,
Awesome.
depending on that.
So we have this section called straight and twisted. Okay. I have 6 lines for you. You'll just have to say straight or twisted very fast. Okay.
Okay.
Straight means it's right, true. Twisted means it's maybe false or
Okay.
partly right or whatever it
Okay,
is. Okay. Basically, there's some shadow in that. Okay. So are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh. A business can successfully operate without having an online presence.
Straight.
Straight is true.
True.
Oh, okay. It can.
It can.
Okay. That was a shock. Business growth always
I can
means.
give you an example.
Please do.
Pataka Bidi.
Okay.
Pataka Bidi is a 1,500 crore brand.
Right. And it has no online presence.
No online
Right.
presence. You cannot sell bidi online, right?
Right. Business growth always means increased profitability.
No. Twisted.
You must have an original idea to start a successful business.
Twisted.
Big companies need to pay local parties or politicians to run their business smoothly.
Twisted.
Business success is solely based on hard work.
Straight.
Good businesses don't need to worry about competition.
Twisted.
Hirak, it was a pleasure having you on Twisted Truths. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
And I
calling me.
wish you all the best. And thank you so much for such brazen, honest, and to the point answers. Thank you so much.
I hope it was to the point.
It was. It was.
He was actually telling me to be to the point, but I think sometimes I extended that.
No, but I think
30
it was
seconds
great.
part.
It was great. It was full of knowledge, and it was full of diverse topics that we spoke on. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much for having me.